I want to know what y'all's car payments are every month, because I refuse to believe that I am the only person with a high car payment, and I refuse to believe that my husband is the only man with a high truck payment. I don't know if y'all see it, but I literally see vehicles posted for sale now for like $100,000 to almost $200,000. And there is absolutely no way that people are purchasing these vehicles without paying a high car payment. So y'all are mad at me, and I know that I am not the only person with these high ass car payments. I'm not. And other people just might not be telling you what their car payments are, but there are a lot of people with these high car payments for absolutely no reason. Vehicles now are not the same cost as vehicles used to be. I can look online and find a hoopty, and it's going to be like $15,000. That is wild. So please, tell me what your car payments are, because I need to prove a point that I am not the only person in this predicament. Especially people that bought their cars a few years ago during the pandemic, because that is when the cars started getting really high, which is when I bought our vehicles. So tell me, do you have a high car payment or do you have a low car payment? Because there's got to be way more high car payments than just me.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about high car payments and why some people have high car payments. Some people have high car payments because they want a nicer vehicle or they want a bigger vehicle, and they still owe money on their vehicle. So when they trade their vehicle in, the car dealership's only going to give you what your vehicle's worth. And if you owe, so if your vehicle's worth 10 grand and you owe 7 grand, then you're only going to get 3 grand for your car. That's all you're getting. Let's do the math. So they're going to take that 7 grand that they had to pay for your car, and they're just going to tack it on to whatever the price of your car is. So if you want a nice luxury, semi-luxurious vehicle, SUV or whatever, Honda Pilot, Hyundai Palisade, Telluride, Yukon, the AT4 or something like that, or the Suburban, or the High Countries, or the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, man, them vehicles 70, 80, 90, and 100K. Easy. So, yeah, you're going to have a high car payment. Someone tells you, oh, I've got a Denali 2023 or 2024 and I'm only paying $400 or $500. That's because they put down like $30,000 or $40,000 on that vehicle. Don't let them tell you anything any different. Don't let them tell you anything. And that's one thing I notice people will leave out when they say that. They'll be like, oh, I've got a so-and-so. And you go online and you Google that vehicle and it's like, oh, that's like 80K. And they're like, oh, I'm only paying $500 a month. Okay, $500 a month, by 5 years, 6 years, and you're still like, that's not mathing. Yeah, it's because you put that sizable amount down. My car, it was used. I wanted one used, and I knew I was going to get a higher interest rate, so I had already run the numbers. So that way I know exactly what I need to be paying every month to pay the least amount of interest. And I've already knocked down a huge swath of interest on my car, simply because I was like, no, I'm not putting any money down. Nope, not doing it. I took my down payment and I applied it directly to the principal. And then, like I said, every month I pay about $600-700 on top of my car payment. And that's exactly and directly onto the principal to, again, lower how much interest I'm paying. And I did the math. When I get done, I will pay my car off a year and a half earlier than the 5 years I have it financed for. And I will have paid the same amount of interest if I would have got 2% on it. And all it did was take me about an hour and a half to sit down and crunch numbers so I could get to the number I wanted and figure it out. But again, everybody's in a different place in life financially. So a lot of young people want to live like some of us are living without being on this planet as long as we have and doing some of the things that we've all done. So again, high car payments, sometimes it's because you just got bad credit. And it is what it is. Or you don't have the money to buy a $5,000 car or a $4,000 car. And again, everybody wants to keep up with the Joneses. I need to have something nice so I can brag. I need to pull up in my Dodge Charger or Challenger. And, if you're not worried about any of that stuff, then don't worry about it. But I'm debt free, except for my car payment. You know, my wife, small business owner, she downscaled drastically. So now she has no more overhead. It's just her and what she wants to do. So, you know, you make some changes, you make some moves, and things happen. But high car payments are not a big a deal. High car payments are going to be high because there's a lot of vehicles that cost a lot of money, and people want vehicles that are incredibly expensive. If you don't want a high car payment, take care of your credit and buy used at a cheaper rate until you can afford what it is you want, or you're financially in a position that you can get the vehicle you want and you're not concerned with a car payment. My car comes with an incredibly awesome maintenance plan that I tacked onto the cost because I can't work on my car. I can work on this, my little S10. I can work on my wife's Pilot. I can work on my Honda Accord, which I gave to my son, and I can work on my daughter's Prius when she comes through. And I can work on my other son's Civic that he has in Florida. But my car, foreign car, I can't work on it. So I got a good maintenance plan so that way I don't have to worry about it. So, but again, just understand high car payments are not that big a deal. High car payments, if you got a newer vehicle and it's, 70, 80, 90K, you're going to have a high car payment. That's the truth, unless you're going to put $30,000, $40,000 down, or your vehicle is worth $20,000. You trade it in, you get 20 for it, and you've got an extra 10 or 20 to put with it. Yeah, all those things will lower your car payment. But someone's telling you they got a $90,000 vehicle and their car payment's only $500 and they only financed it for 3 years. That's because they put a ton of money down, y'all. Don't let them fool you. They put a ton of money down. So, but yeah, car payments ain't that big a deal. Get what you can afford, live within your means, and everyone will be just fine. And don't assume your wallet is somebody else's wallet. Because if you would have talked to me about 10 years ago and told me I would be living like this, I'd have been like, nah, you crazy. Because I couldn't see it. So keep your head down, keep plowing forward, keep making smart moves, keep being fiscally responsible, and you'll wake up one day and you'll be debt free and your kids will be all out of the house and you get to do whatever the hell you want to do. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Have a great Saturday. Holla at your boy.
If you are trying to build wealth, car payments are a huge deal. The average car payment is $700 a month. That is a lot of money that you could be saving and or investing. Car payments are not a small thing or whatever. It is one of the highest expenses after rent. It's your car and your health insurance. So no, it's not a small thing. A lot of people feel trapped with their car payments, and the interest on those are high. Why in the world would you get a $80,000 car? Try your hardest to buy a car cash, used and cash. We spend so much money on cars each and every day, it is ridiculous. $700 for a car payment will leave you broke. $1,000, $1,200, that's literally rent right there. In a lot of places that's rent, and yet we're spending it on one car. And we are hardly in the car anyway.
So my truck payment is $1,200 a month. I wanted that truck. I got it off the lot. I got it last year. It's a 2022 Nissan Frontier 4-wheel drive. That's what I wanted. I wanted a pickup truck, and I finally got it because I got stuck with other cars I didn't want. It was just not what I wanted. So finally, I was able to pick what exactly I wanted. My husband got his back in 2021. He got his. He has a Nissan Armada, and his car payments are $500 a month, and we're almost done paying his truck off completely. He will be done by December. As I calculated the payments, it'll be done completely in December, paying his off. But I paid $1,200 a month for mine. So yeah.
So I have a 2022 Ford Escape. It's not anything great. It's the titanium trim. I went with that because I wanted the leather seats that were heated, the big ass sunroof, etc. It's not a sporty car. It's not, an eye-catching car. But for me, a 5'9", 130-pound male, it is an incredibly comfortable car, and it has all the options I wanted. But my car payment on that is $354 a month. So that's what I'm paying. And I bought it last year when interest rates were still going up. So my interest rate is 6.25%. But yeah, let me know what your car payment is, because shit's getting out of control. Like, I'm seeing people who work at dealerships with almost $2,000 a month in a car payment. That's not car payment, insurance, maintenance, etc. That's just the fucking payment to own it. Holy fuck. So yeah, let me know what you're paying.
My truck payment is $452 and some change, and I drive a 2021 GMC Sierra 3500 dually.
My car note is $1,000, and when I posted that video, some people were asking me what kind of car I have, so I'm gonna show you. This is the inside of my girl. She's a 2024 Jeep Wrangler. She's pretty sweet. This is the inside. She's a little messy, but not too messy. The seat's down because I'm in the process of moving, but this is why she's $1,000. This touchscreen is bigger than every other Jeep. My roof also goes all the way back. Like all the way back. Hold on. Like all the way back. And most Jeeps don't do that, except for the 2024 GXE, or what? 4XE Jeeps. She's also hybrid, so she takes electricity and gas. And this is what she looks like on the outside. But the gag is, my car note should have been $700. I just had a terrible car salesman who took advantage of me. So if you're wondering why I started doing the blue page, making the little hot content, it's because I need to afford the lifestyle that I live.
Would you pay $1,400 a month on the car of your dreams? And if not, what is the most you would pay or the most you have paid and been comfortable with that? My dream car is a Tahoe. I have always wanted to have a Tahoe for many, many years now. However, I watched a video last night of a girl saying after 3 years of paying $1,400 on her $84,000 Tahoe, she bought it new at the time, she decided that it was no longer worth that and she was trading it in for something cheaper. And like when I heard her say that she was paying $1,400 a month on a car note, I just was like, no. Personally, out. I could never do that. I couldn't spend more than $1,000 a month on a car note in order for me not to be literally sick every single month when I had to pay that. Now, it'd be different if someone like has a decent large amount of money and like $1,400 was just a drop in the hat and it was no big deal. That's different. But I feel like from what I see, a lot of people who buy the very expensive trucks, the very expensive SUVs, a lot of them end up going car broke because they're obsessed with their vehicle, but now they have no extra money on sometimes even necessities. And that's not for me. That is not for me. Now, if you can afford it and still not have to struggle, that's something different. But I just can't, in today's economy especially, imagine paying $1,400 on a vehicle. I am glad for her, whoever she was, that she realized that was no longer worth it, because she said she was only paying off like $10,000 a year and she was paying thousands of dollars in interest. And I'm sorry, but at some point you just have to tap out and be like, I love that vehicle, but I'm just not that dumb. I can't lose that amount of money in interest. Just can't do it.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
So a real nice person asked me, big man, I've been paying on my car for a year and the principal balance hasn't moved. Why so? Let me explain, mate. When you first buy your car, folks, let's say the car's 20 grand, right? Let's say your interest rate is 10% because interest rates are absolutely that first year to 2 year, the interest is heavy, the balance is so high, so you're probably paying about $10 to $15, $20 a day in interest. So if you're making the minimum payment, for example, or even just a wee bit above the minimum, it's really not going to do much. You either want to pay on a weekly basis, a daily basis, or you want to make double the payment to get that principal balance done faster. That's the easiest, simplest way, folks. There's no other way around it, man. We live in that society. It is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need help with your car purchasing, or if you bought one, you're not sure if you got a good deal, let me know. I'll look over it.
I just want to know what kind of sick joke it is that I paid off my car last month. I haven't even gotten to the date where my next payment would have been due if I was still making payments. And just tell me why I got in my car today and it started to stutter and almost not start. So now I'm going to have to be taking it in. It's a possibility it's a transmission issue. 62,000 miles, 2019 vehicle, paid off, not even a month, and it's going to break down. Why? Probably one of the best financial decisions I ever made, and I thank myself for this every single day, is that I bought my car outright. You might be like, Abigail, I can't pay for my car outright. Okay, let me rephrase. I bought a used car. Did it drain my savings for a little bit for the time being? Yes. However, I don't have a car payment. And luckily, my boyfriend also drives a really, really old car that he has paid completely off. So basically, neither of us have a car payment except for our insurance. And it is so freeing. Listen, it gets me from point A to point B. Is it brand stinking new? No. Is it like the most expensive car in the world? Absolutely not. Do I have a car payment? No. Like, you do not have to buy like a brand new car just because like all your friends are buying brand new cars. My dad really taught me this, but growing up, I think I wanted like an iPhone one time and went to go buy a new phone, and I was like, I'm just gonna make monthly payments on it, whatever, I can do that. And my dad was like, you can't afford that. He was like, if you can't go buy it outright, then you can't afford that. And like, rude, but he was right. Like, the moral of the story is you don't have to buy a brand new car. I know it's all over TikTok. Everybody is like getting a new car and a new house and all these things. And my car is like a 2015. It has been used before I had it. It's clean. It's well taken care of. It gets me from point A to point B, and I love her, and I probably will never buy a new car because I don't want a car payment. Me and my boyfriend rocking our old car, saving that money. Love you guys.
I don't have a car payment either, and I am so blessed, guys. And I don't have any stress whatsoever. It is so freeing, guys. Once you own your stuff, once you own it, nobody can take it away from you. That is a beautiful thing. And it is one less bill at the end of the month that you have to worry about. It's a beautiful thing.
If you have a car payment, you should be making your car payment twice a month, at least twice a month. Like, your car payment is probably due, like mine's due in like the 12th, I think. So normally I used to just pay my car payment on the due date or a couple days before and call it good. And I'm not doing that anymore. I owe $39,000 on my car loan, which is awful. And I totally understand that. And one of my goals in the next 3 years is to get it completely paid off. Really, I'm going to shoot for 2 once I get all my debt paid off. But anyways, why did I make this change? I'm going to now make 2 car payments. We've been making 2 car payments because car loan interest is charged daily. Okay. So all I did was take a little gander at my statements, and I realized I was getting charged $11.34 every single day for interest. So when you pay in 2 installments, so you pay half and then pay the other half, you're cutting down on the principal of the loan. I think, maybe correct me if I'm saying this wrong, wording it wrong. You're cutting down on the principal. Therefore, when you make your next payment, the loan interest that's getting charged every day is going to be less. So make 2 payments instead of 1. And I'm not a lender. I'm not a bank person. I'm literally just somebody that has an expensive car payment.
Okay, so everybody keeps wanting to see a car reveal, and no, that does not include the insurance. And I was actually kind of lowballing it a little bit. Both of our cars together is more like $1,800 instead of $1,700. And our car insurance for both of our cars is another $2 something a month. And yes, before anybody comments, I know that is a lot for cars. Trust me, you're not telling me anything new that I do not know. But we both actually do drive brand new cars. This is my car. It's a 2022 Jeep Wagoneer. And this is my fiance's car. It's a 2022 Honda Civic.
In 2024, I financed a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. My APR was a 25%. The truck costed about $35,000. And my car note was $950. But when I initially got ready to finance, it was $1,025 or $1,050. But he told me he was able to give me a deal, and he dropped it down to $950. But he also said I can come back in 3 months, and if I pay my car note on time, which was the $950 for 3 or 4 months, I can come back and refinance. Now, me personally, I never heard of anything like that, but I went on and took his word because I needed a vehicle. Now, when I first walked in the dealership, I wasn't trying to buy a vehicle. I just wanted to, drive one around and just get the feel of a new vehicle. But I ended up leaving a lot with one. At the time, I had just paid off my credit card, and my credit score was about a 6 something. So it still was low, so I should have waited. So that was on me. I'm going to take that L. When I say I love the vehicle, it was like a 28th edition or something like that. I kept it for about a month. In the second week, I was like, I can't afford these. Like, I had to pay $400 to even get my insurance on the vehicle, and then it was going to be $256 a month. So from my car note and my insurance, that would have been $1,200 a month. I really should have followed my first thoughts and went to the lady I was going to go to before, but I was too impatient. I just needed a vehicle. So I still ended up getting another vehicle that same within like a month. And this is the vehicle I got now. So my APR is 16%. My car note is $699.39 a month. And when I got it, it was like 26 or 28,000, but I added Gap and all the other stuff, so it ended up being like $31,000. And I know the APR was still high. I get that. I know that. I'm gonna try to pay it off as early as I can, and I'm gonna try to make 2 payments a month and then pay like an extra $100 or whatever on it. And yeah, when I say I really want to pay this truck off now, because this is my 10th vehicle. This is not the 10th vehicle I done had in my name. This is probably the 4th vehicle I had in my name, because that other truck that I just let get repo was in my name. So I done had bad experiences with vehicles, and I paid one off and I bought maybe 2 cash cars. But yeah, y'all, make sure y'all credit straight. Make sure y'all got a good person that's financing your vehicle. But number one, make sure your credit's straight before you try to get a vehicle, because that's why I messed up it. I was impatient. I need a vehicle. I just took my L and I said I'm gonna pay it. So hopefully I can pay this off within the next 3 years, because I ain't trying to pay no $60K for this vehicle. All right, bye.
I mean this with the utmost disrespect. If you are driving a brand new vehicle with a whopping fat payment, do not be complaining about groceries. Do complain about the economy. Do not be complaining about Joe Biden, even though he is absolutely terrible. I beg you. Y'all are embarrassing everybody. Just shut your mouth, okay?
The other day, I was driving with my sister in her car. She's like 2 years older than me. And she's had the same car since she was in high school. Like her senior year or whatever, she got her car and she's had it. It's paid off completely, okay? And I got my car when I was a senior as well. But when I got my car, there was no more key. Like, you don't put your key in the ignition. It's a push start. So I've always had cars with push start all my life. And I've had 3 cars, okay? My sister has had the same car since high school. So the other day when I went with her, she was driving and all I hear is the keys dangling. I was like, that's annoying. And then I was like, how are you going to back out without a camera? Because she literally grew up without a backup camera. I cannot drive without a backup camera. Like, I need to see what's back there. And then, like, to go into drive and park and all that, she has the little stick thing. I don't know what it's called. And my cars have always had buttons. Look, like this. See all the buttons? Okay, so I was like, how do you even drive this car? Like, I'm not even trying to be mean or be, like, annoying, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. But she literally has no car payment. I've had 3 cars. I have $1,000 car payment, okay? She is smart. She does not have a car payment. And I'm like, wow, I should have kept my first car.
$700. $700 is the average car payment in the United States, at least in the Northeast. Just hearing that makes me want to throw up. So I'm in search of a new car. I need like a bigger SUV than I have right now. I have the Jeep Cherokee, and I am very lucky with my car payments. I've had my car since 2020 and I pay $330 a month for my car. And just the thought of like doubling my car payment, it just, like, how did this happen? How are we paying $700 a month for a car? It's like, I can't wrap my head around it. Anyway, let me know what kind of car you drive, if you drive an SUV, and let me know your car payment in the comments, because I'm just curious to see like how many people actually pay around $700 a month for their car.
I think it's so wild to me that people are paying over $50,000 for vehicles. How are we doing that in this economy? I don't know if it's because some people's taxes have hit already, but all over my Facebook, I've been seeing people selling their very nice vehicles that they had just bought, and like starting price is $55,000. What? I guess it's just because I'm a cheapo. Me and my husband are very frugal when it comes to our vehicles. We don't have a lot of money invested in our vehicles because our cars are paid off. And while they're not new vehicles, they're handy and they run perfectly fine. They get us from point A to point B. But how are people saying, yes, I'm going to pay $90,000 for a vehicle? That is so wild to me. Like, how much do you pay per month for that car? And how much is your mortgage or rent? I'm just curious. I'm nosy. I want to know how everyone affords their high car payment. Yeah.
I know I shouldn't worry about what people do with their finances, but what scares the crap out of me is when I see people on here paying over $1,000 car payment. Like, what are you driving? The video that I just saw right now is, come with me to pay my $2,000 car payment. Like, I really do not want to go anywhere near that, actually. For me, personally, it's just not one of those things that I could justify. I know everybody has their own little thing that they could not spend. They have a certain threshold when it comes to that, right? And mine is car payments. It needs to be 500 or below, or you're freaking insane.
So typically whenever something happens to my car, I automatically just want to go get a new car. I'm like, check engine light on, go get a new car. Need new tires, go get a new car. So my check engine light came on probably about like a couple weeks ago, and then I was having troubles like starting my car after I got gas, like put gas in my car. So last night I was like, okay, I just need to go get a new car. So then I started pricing out, like, because I already know what car that I want. I want to go electric. No, it's not a Tesla. And I priced it all out, seeing how much car payments were. Child, I'm about to go get my car fixed and go get some new tires, because we're keeping my Ford Fusion. Because what? Y'all are out here paying $800,000 car payments? That is insane.
I'm a person where I have to make sure that I actually really need a new car. That's the only time that I will buy a new car, is when I literally cannot use the old one that I have. If everything breaks down, you know what I'm saying? Then okay. But other than that, I go and I get my car fixed. I'm not buying a new car for what? Everything on that car has to be dead before I can go out and buy a new car. Literally nothing has to work.
You know, something that I noticed lately is, given these times, car prices are high, car notes are high, right? And people keep saying, I would never pay this much for a car note. That car payment is insane. That's a mortgage payment. But you want to know what I find interesting that nobody ever talks about? That daycare bill. You want to talk about the value depreciating in a car and talk about people who car payments are high. But what about that daycare bill? Daycare bill be $300, $400, $200 a week, and don't have multiple kids. You're not getting that money back. But you people will pay $1,000, $1,200, whatever it is in daycare. And trust me, I'm a mom, I've been there. But I never ragged on what anybody else decided to spend their money on. It ain't my bill anyway. Just my thought.
Okay, so I want to give y'all some raw footage. I know I didn't post all day. So all day I've been looking for cars. I want to do a cash car, but my husband's like, no cash car, because I saw this cute little Beetle, as y'all know, $4,000 wanted it. He was like, no. So today I've been looking at all types of cars. For example, I was looking at a 2023 Nissan Maxima used, and it's still $30,000, and I don't want to pay that. $30,000 is too expensive. Then I saw this cute little Kia. It was about $27,000, and then the payments. Guys, these payments are just killing me, and I'm just not into the payments. And I'm trying to get into being like. Okay, so hubby just took the girls' second finish this up. But like, ever since I got Tesla, and I paid, y'all know how much I paid. I paid almost almost $900 a month, like $830. I can't really remember the details, but that was like no insurance, no nothing, the gap included. But I love that car, and I like that it drove me everywhere, but it was worth the money. And then I'm seeing these other cars that they're trying to charge me like $700 for gas, and I gotta pay for gas and all that, and I just don't feel like it's worth it. And I'm trying to be humble and make the smart decision, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't know.
Your car payment is keeping you broke. I don't know what the average car payment is these days, but it's gotta be more than $500 a month. I bet you that you would feel like you got a raise. You got at least an additional $500 extra in your paycheck every single month. I know that not everyone is taught financial literacy. And so if you're watching this video and you got a car payment, this is me telling you, this is me wanting to help you and tell you that in no circumstance is it ever a good idea to have a car payment, and especially not that high. The type of car payment that we're seeing right now. A car is a depreciating asset, which means that it is losing its value every single day. Here's an analogy for you. You are basically putting money in your pocket and you don't realize that your pocket has a huge hole in it. So here's what I would do if I were in your shoes. I would make a plan to pay it off as soon as possible. I would give myself 2 years max. The 2-year mark comes and you are still not able to pay it off. That means you have way too much car, and that means that you need to sell it. I know you don't want to hear that, but you probably need to sell your car if you can't pay it off in the next 2 years, because your car payment is keeping you broke.
Do not get a car payment. Don't get a car payment. Don't get a car payment, because I am in a very bad situation right now. I am paying $578 for a 2015 Honda Civic, and you would think that that's an AMG or a V8, or at least a Mercedes, something, a Lambo, something. It's a Honda, bro. And I've done the math. Over the past 2 years I've had this car, it just pissed me off. Over the past 2 years I've had this car, I've gave them $14,000. And only $1,500 of that has went towards the principal. I have no idea what to do. And I need to get out of it. But a voluntary repossession is going to hit my credit score badly. From my research, from the research I've done, almost 100 points. But I feel like is that worth it? I don't know. And then if I voluntarily give it back and they sell it for less than the actual worth of the car, now I still gotta owe the money on top of that. Probably $3,000 to $4,000. Then I'm gonna be without a car. I have no idea what to do. I have no idea what to do.
All right, so I'm definitely being nosy. How much do you guys currently pay on your auto loans, right? I have two vehicles. I have a 2022 Hyundai Tucson that I pay roughly around $600. I was completely scammed on that vehicle. I'm actually looking to maybe potentially lease so that I can cut out the negative equity on that. And I also have a Toyota Prius, $408 a month that I pay on the Prius. The reason why the Prius is a little expensive is because I'm only financing for like 48 months. So I'm planning on paying it off within this year. So, damn, that's like what, almost $1,000 in car payments only? Am I stupid? Maybe.
Do you know the biggest, worst financial mistake I've ever made? Financing a car. Why didn't I listen to my dad when I sold my first car that he kindly bought for me and put that money down on a deposit on a finance car? He literally said, you're more or less stuck now, unless you want to pay like a balloon payment at the end, which is like $7,000. Why did I do it? Because the irony is, that particular car got written off. Then, silly me, got this huge insurance payout and put that money down on an even more expensive car. But only me can pay their monthly payments back on my salary. I don't have a salary right now because I'm on maternity leave, which means a huge chunk of money of my maternity pay is going on a car that just sits and runs me to and from Morrison's or to my mum and dad's. And it's not even a brand new car, it's a 2018 plate, but it's costing me an absolute fortune. And I'm just so pissed off with myself. Here I am, literally, I emailed them on Monday to see if they could get me a cheaper car. Because as I've gotten older, I've realised that actually, who cares if you haven't got a flash car? I'm 23 years old, I don't need a flash car. The worst part is I literally look back and the insurance payout that I got could have been like a 5% house deposit. But here we are renting. Honestly, I wish that my dad could control my bank account. It actually makes me feel sick. I could be in such a different position right now. Thank God I paid extra for gap insurance because it literally paid off my finance for the car that got written off, and then I just got the remaining lump sum back. And I still look at it now and I'm like, why? Why did I use that money to get another car on finance, an expensive car on finance? I literally could have put money down on a house on a 5% deposit. Don't get me wrong, it's not a massive deposit, but it's still a deposit. Now I literally spunked it up the wall. Anyone else feel me? Because it's just the worst fucking thing I ever did.
Lastly, I'll end with, well, not lastly, but next to last is car payments are ghetto. This is the ghetto. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. If you have a car that's still getting you from point A to point B, don't waste your time unless you want to, this is your splurge or whatever. To me, it's ghetto. I'm so thankful, so thankful for my new car, for the stability, for all that it has provided and afforded me and my daughter. But every month when that car payment comes, I'm sitting there like, oh, I gotta work harder because this ain't it.
She is absolutely right about this. Having the car payment is actually really ghetto. Like, it is really nice to have a car and all, but is that car payment really worth it? When you're paying $800 a month and you're stressed, just the extra things to worry about. That's real ghetto to me. I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.